Oh, hey, hey, ho, ho, Golden Dawn has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Golden Dawn has got to go.
People feel desperate. They feel desperate, and in their desperation they turn to those that they feel that they're responsible for that. The immigrants. They look different, they speak different. Until now, the narrative was that they take our jobs. There are no jobs to be taken. The immigrants have no jobs. The Greeks don't have jobs. The Europeans don't have jobs. We're all into that together. We should not underestimate it. History tells us we should not underestimate people that threaten at any time other human beings because they look different, because supposedly they take our jobs.
The government, the Greek government, instead of trying to diffuse the rise of xenophobic and racist feelings, they're actually doing their best to actually fund these feelings.
We need to understand that these struggles are connected, and we need to stand in solidarity with the struggles of the workers here in New York, with the struggles of immigrants who are fighting against the racism that they face every day. We need to stand up against Islamophobia in this country. This is all part of the anti-fascist struggle, and this is part of what it means to be in solidarity with the struggle in Greece. No pasaran. My name is Aaron Amaral. I'm a member of the International Socialist Organization here in New York. I've personally been active as part of organizing against the presence of Golden Dawn here in New York City, which is the Greek, as you may know, is the Greek fascist organization, which has been growing significantly in Greece and is attempting to use its connections in the Greek diaspora to build support for itself in Greece and to raise money, etc. So there's been some very important organizing here in New York against Golden Dawn. That's one of the things. The other thing, really, and this is what I was trying to say earlier, is that the struggle of the basis upon which fascism is able to grow in Greece, and obviously there's some things that are unique to Greece, are also what's happening in the United States and throughout the world. So, for example, the scapegoating of immigrants, the scapegoating of Arabs and Muslims as somehow inherently terrorists, the kind of support of extreme austerity measures, which create real crises within. And Greece is a real crisis. You have over 50% unemployment amongst the youth and amongst women. You have an absolute devastation of the education system, of healthcare systems. It creates a real crisis that you're seeing in Greece. It's extreme, but you're seeing it in the United States as well. Part of what motivates us to be here and be part of this is understanding that the struggle against those conditions in Greece is the same as the struggles here in the United States. We have more than enough resources in this world, in this country, to meet people's basic needs, to ensure that there's no hunger, that people have education and access to basic health care. But we have to ask ourselves why it is that trillions of dollars sit in the banks, trillions of dollars are spent on defense when these basic needs are not met. Human beings have been on the planet for 60,000 years, approximately. We've lived under a capitalist system for approximately 500 years. It's not inevitable that we organize ourselves as human beings in this way. We've organized ourselves differently in the past. We can organize ourselves differently in the future. We have the capacity to do better as humanity, and that's kind of what we're about.
Right now in Greece, they've got this austerity that is killing people. People are losing their jobs, lower salaries, pensions being cut, benefits being cut, and supposedly all this is to help Greece pay off the debts. Well, guess what happens? Austerity shrinks the economy, and Greece has less money this year for the debts than last year. So what is going on? Why the austerity if it doesn't actually do anything to pay the debt? Because they want to break the people. That is what this is about. And it's not just in Greece, you know it. You know it's coming here, you know it's happening here. It's starting right now with all this fiscal cliff and debt ceiling talk. This is the beginning. They're going to say debt is the only thing that matters. Debt is very important. But in this country, private debt is 4 times greater than the public debt, which is all you hear about. My name is Nicholas Levis, and I work with Occupy Historia LIC in Queens, New York City, as well as the Greek Left Movement and the Stop Golden Dawn Coalition. The issue is not the Greece, which is 3% of the European economy and a very small part of the total public debt in Europe, in the European Union, is represented by Greece. Greece is a crisis because it is the worst off province, let us say, of the European Union at this point. And if Greece should break with the austerity program, if Greece should default on debt, then it's giving an example to the others who find themselves in the same quandary. Ireland, Portugal, Spain, Italy, eventually France and Germany. This could be a giant leftward shift in European politics.
And I'm here today in front of the Greek Consulate in New York City representing radical women and the Freedom Socialist Party. And we're here today. We worked with a number of other groups, largely anti-capitalist groups, and we're socialist feminists ourselves, to protest the Golden Dawn group. They've been actually sending satellites around the U.S. to try to open up offices in New York, Chicago, and in New York, the movement here, the anti-fascist movement, actually prevented them from opening up, but there was a murder just this last Thursday in Athens of a Pakistani immigrant done by members of Golden Dawn, and so I'm here today as a descendant of immigrants myself, to completely condemn the Golden Dawn and that murder that I'm outraged about. Historically as well as today, the capitalist crisis really gives rise to fascism and fascist groups, and I really believe that as long as capitalism exists, these fascist groups will exist, because capitalism needs scapegoats, and these groups function, on behalf of the capitalist system to murder immigrants, murder these scapegoats, and the police and the government and these neo-fascist groups all really work in collaboration. So that's why I'm a socialist feminist, and that's why I'm here today.